Hi everyone, my name is Ray Maor and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be called The Vegan Nightmare. And the reason I'm calling it that way is because it's going to bring a lot of controversy. And for some people it's going to piss them off, especially, my followers. Most of us are vegan, vegetarian, liquidarian, breatharian. Most of us have a compassion and a philosophical approach that we don't want to hurt any animals. So in this video, I'm going to show you that it's way beyond the animals. It's actually the plant life itself. Science suggests that plants can actually feel. I'm going to show you the different research that has been done, and I'm going to tell you what I think about that. So, stay tuned. So, can plants really feel? All of us tree huggers, we understand that. We understand there's a connection. There's something that is beyond. The reason that, for example, the movie Avatar is still the #1 hit, even after Endgame came out, still the #1 hit, is because what we saw is a beautiful planet with an indigenous people that are in some way harmonious with nature. What we also saw that there is a connection between all living life. Now, this connection exists here on planet Earth with us as well. But the fact of the matter is that most people are still not connected to nature. We don't understand that the trees are providing us with nutrition, that the sun provides us with life, that everything is connected, that water connects and oxygen connects, and there's a type of information exchange that because we cannot see it, we have a difficult time to believe it. Science has proved in the last years and in the last decade that plants actually feel. It's not only that they feel, the winds, the water, they can actually feel when a person comes to cut them. When a person comes and doesn't have a good intention towards them, they can feel from the other side of the room. And that means that there's something within us, an intention, that we resonate. The farmers, the individuals, the love we have for the plant or the hate we have for the plant. The plant actually feels when there is an argument in the room. Now, we know that plants don't have a nervous system like human beings do. We also understand that it is conscious, but a very low level of consciousness compared to human beings. Some people would say that plants are better than others. I think it's just our own dual way of thinking that we reflect back on what we think plants are. Can we look at a tree and think that it's not alive? It's alive. Can we hurt the tree? Will it have pain? Perhaps not like a human being, but it will feel something. When it dies, there is something that feels sad about that. Now, about veganism and about vegetarians. Now, vegetarian is a lifestyle, but veganism has really become more like a religion because the vegans kind of judge everybody else, which is funny. Vegetarians didn't used to judge so many other people, but veganism has become about, it's really a small religion is called a cult, by the way. But it doesn't mean that everybody is like that. Not everybody is judgmental. However, when you come to a vegan and you have a conversation and you bring up this plants feel as well, and the reason that we, philosophically, for example, don't eat meat or we don't eat chicken is because we understand how much pain the animal has endured on the way to our plate or on the way to humanity's plate. I can tell you that in my country, there's 1 million chickens that die every day. And there's only 7 million people living there. So, amazing numbers, I know. And I had a client that had to do with growing chickens, and I didn't want to accept their project just because of that. It's inhumane. But when we think about the fact that plants also feel, and we understand that just like chickens and cows that are being grown and bred only in order for them to eventually serve humanity in some way, then we understand that we have been doing the same thing with agriculture ever since the prehistoric, okay? The history of humanity has changed when people developed agriculture. And then they had less disease and they had more food, and then humanity was actually prosperous for a while. So this kind of creates a collision in the belief, because we don't want to hurt the plants, but there's no other way. I mean, if you can't eat meat and you can't eat plants as well, what should you eat? Because we talk a lot about this in the breatharian initiations, because some people actually come because they understand this concept. They say, okay, I understood that plants also feel, and I didn't want to grow all of my food by myself because that's really difficult and requires a commitment and knowledge and experience. And so I just decided to cut down as much as I can. So just like you cut down, plastic, and you understand that most of what you eat also comes in packages, which are eventually become waste. So you can also cut down in the amount of plants. But what if plants mean for us to eat them? What if animals mean to teach humanity a lesson by showing us that they are still violent? I mean, if nature was perfect, ideal, then animals wouldn't eat other animals, or maybe animals wouldn't eat plants. So what would they eat? Would everybody be living off prana? Maybe they would learn how to create energy out of the sun. Maybe they would learn how to create energy out of water alone. Maybe one day we'll understand that water is also conscious in some way. It feels pain like we do. But think about it for a second. What if everything here is meant to teach us a lesson? And what if plants offer themselves? There's a reason why fruits are considered to be the highest vibration from all the foods. Because you have a fruitarian and you have a liquidarian that actually just drinks the juice from fruits. And that is because the trees are actually offering the fruits to nature. So they're offering it to monkeys, they're offering it to human beings, they're offering it to the different animals that eat it. And think about it. What if Mother Nature or Gaia is teaching us a lesson by reflection? And that means that you shouldn't really feel bad about it. Yes, of course, a healthy diet is a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet. We have proved it beyond any reasonable doubt. We understand that our system is not really made to eat those heavy things. And if we shouldn't eat it as much as other people are, the average person does on a day-to-day basis. In other words, once a week, maybe twice a week. But I know many people that do without. I'm a vegetarian for more than 10 years now. Most of my friends around me are vegan or raw food vegan, and we're experimenting with different things. And because I eat very little anyway, and all of my nutritions are coming from a completely different source, I don't mind that much. But this question of, do we hurt plants? And should we change our attitude towards plants? Or maybe that is the goal. Maybe the goal is to understand that in agriculture, the way that we grow, the way that we seed, the way that we create energy within our intention, if the intention of the farmer is to just create as much as he can and eventually kill them all in a very, in one day, or maybe the intention is for every one of us to have a small community, and then there will be a lot of love that is given to the plants, which will then actually create a better nutritional value, because we understand that the water inside every plant or inside every fruit or vegetable that you eat is actually changing according to the person's consciousness and its appreciation. That is actually the base for every major religion when they said always pray before you eat something. Every major religion has that, the prayer before you eat, so your intention will go into the water. So maybe that's what it's all about. And maybe one day we will all raise our consciousness and the vibration of our body to such a high frequency that we won't need to eat plants anymore. I am in no way judging vegetarians, vegans, raw food, people who eat meat, or anything like that. All I want to do in this video is to open our mind to different opportunities, options, experiences, and knowledge that is already out there. And as we open our minds, we don't have a should we or should we not. We have always dual and many different options. When we open our mind, many other things make us become more aware of the opportunities, more aware of the different opinions that we might have. Now I know in a dual world, we really want to have an opinion of what is good and what is bad. If plants feel maybe we shouldn't eat them, like that, black or white. But maybe there's a lot of different shades of gray where we can compromise. Maybe we can change our attitude towards plants. Maybe we can change our agriculture, because right now what we're doing is that we're creating new species that never existed. We're in some way disharmonizing Mother Earth. We are creating too much of one thing and we're ruining the soil while we're doing it. And again, the plant doesn't like it. And eventually we are the ones that are being nourished from these things. So it's about our affection, our love towards not only the process, but the plants themselves. So my friends, thank you very much for staying all the way to the end. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go on my website, raymore.com, to see my full schedule where I go every month to teach amazing lightworkers life-changing workshops. And of course, if you like this video, please like it, share it with your friends, on your Facebook, whatever. Namaste, and I will see you in my next video.